2016 Avenal San Diego Spring Nationals. Coming back on here for a little bit. Big shout out to Bud checking in from Michigan. We are getting ready to run Pro 3 first round, 426 and slower dial, Pro 3 bracket class. Finished up time trials. They just finished the junior classes. Big congratulations to Destiny Burris, the Burris team out of Washington. She got the win in the juniors. Came all the way from Washington to California and took the junior class win. Pretty cool in the Fraser. So here we go. First pair in round 1 of Pro 3. Bob Glass in the Chevy pickup. Against the black Jeep over on the The Chevy pickup's going to have a 1 second head start here. Takes the win, 596 on the 585 dial. I think he got quite a bit on the tree here. Moving on to the second round. Next up, Charlie Johnson in the near lane. Your runner-up yesterday in the Pro Gambler. Up against Ron Hess and that neat little, I'm going to call it a Fiat, but I'm not sure. That's a unique body style there. Unique little car there. Runs 460, 470. First time we've seen it out here. Really cool little ride. Went down there, got around him, and lifted to a 474 for the win. So that's going to be the first set here in Pro 3. There's 20. I checked the ladder before I came down, and they had 24 cars in. in the lanes at that point. Austin Thomas had the potential buy if more cars showed up, but I kind of doubt they did. So at least 24 cars in this Pro 3 class. So pretty substantial field. Should be a pretty nice payday to whoever wins this deal. So to recap, we are in Avenal, California at the 2016 Avenal Sandjag Spring Nationals. This weekend's NSDN daily race coverage and live stream brought to you by Avenal Sandjags, Red Warrior, DR Motorsports, Flirt with Disaster Racing, Mr. Kenny Hayes, and Hammer Down Racing, Dennis Rice. Thanks to those folks for ensuring coverage from this event. The weather is kind of bizarre here today. It's kind of been like this all weekend. There's a little bit of a breeze. If you're in the shade, it's actually pretty chilly. I was up on the tower there during the juniors, and it felt downright cold. It looked like, you know, a light sweatshirt or something up there when you're in the shade, but out in the sun it is kind of warm, so it's kind of a weird deal. It is warming up. They're saying it's supposed to get up to like 74 mid-afternoon or so it's pretty nice weather here in Avenal. It can be really hot here, so we definitely lucked out with some stellar weather this weekend. So up next, yesterday's Pro Gambler $1,000 winner, April Torres in the far lane in the red Jeep, up against Eric Moran in the big Chevy drive pickup. Eric's dialed in at 535 and April's in at 426, so Eric will get a little over a second head start. 71 on the 70 dial. Forced Stacy into a breakup. So 455 on the 59. Clark, he got over towards the cones over there, but he did a nice job of driving and held on for the win. Tony Torres in the near lane. That's April's husband. April won the Pro Gambler last night. You just saw her run up against Steve Wynn in the Bill Meany Jeep. Bill told us this morning that this Jeep is for sale if anybody's interested in it. Bill got another Jeep to replace this one, so he's looking to sell that beautiful black Larry Minor Motorsports built Jeep in the bar lane. And Steve Wynn takes the win. 445 on the 440. Tony Soares was closer to his dial 490 on the 89, but starting line advantage goes to Steve Wynn, and he'll move on. I don't know if they're really going to want to sell that Jeep. Steve has been going a lot of rounds with that ride. He got down to, what was he at? 4 cars last night in the Gambler. He started to do really, really well in that ride. Bill's son taking over the driving somewhere early last year, and he's done a really good job in that car. So he'll move on to round 2. And it looks like we've got a handful more cars left as we finish up first round eliminations in Pro 3. Getting close to the noontime hour when we run the first round of eliminations for Top Alcohol and Top Eliminator. I'm not sure if we're going to move on to Pro 2 after this, or if we'll go to Alcohol and Eliminator, but we're moving right along today. Great group of racers here this weekend. Like I said, Pro 3, just Pro 3 alone, there were at least 24 cars. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't know if anybody pulled in late or not, but around 24 in that class. There's, I don't know, 14 to 16 or so in Pro 1 and Pro 2. So the Pro bracket classes are pretty well populated this weekend. So we are here at Avenal Sand Drags in Avenal, California, for their Spring Nationals event. Your NSDN daily race coverage and live stream brought to you by Avenal Sand Drags. Great people here that run this facility. Ron Diartney from Diartney Farms, Diartney Motorsports, a big part of it, along with Jerry Watson, Ron Moran, Tom, and many other people that helped put this deal on, along with Mary Zavala in the John Deere. Mary and Chachi Zavala, her husband. Chachi is the race director here, does a great job shooting cars down the track. They've been around sand drags forever, and do some top-notch work along with Mario Brambley. I don't know if you can see him. There he is right there. Mario Brambley are running the computer. So these people have been around sand drags for a long time, and they've got have a pretty well-oiled machine here. We're doing a little additional leveling out here on the starting line with the boxes there. So we got some folks here from Oregon, Mr. Junior from Hawaii, Texas. Great to see people from across the country tuning in this weekend. So we're in first round of Pro 3. This is the first class that's run eliminations. Well, I shouldn't say that. The junior classes ran eliminations here a little while ago. Ran their time trials and eliminations. So Pro 3 is the first in the adult classes that's running eliminations today. So the run order today, if you haven't picked up on it yet, it's Pro 3, Pro 2, Pro 1, Motorcycle Pro 1, and then Motorcycle Pro 2. That's what we've been going on today. And then, like I said, top alcohol, top eliminator will slot in around noon. I believe it's like noon, 2, and 5 or something like that. But when they get going into eliminations, they usually just pull up to the lanes when they're ready, and they'll fit them in. This race will probably be wrapped up by about 3 or so this afternoon. Yeah, I was wondering where Chris Galfiore was at today, heading to Texas. Yes, we wish you were here, Chris. I'm sure we'll see you at another race soon. Hey, Florida's watching. Very cool. Haven't seen Florida yet, so shout out to everybody watching from far away, New Mexico. There we go, Jack Weddle in the car side, up against Brett Neal Cook in Team Hardcore Mopar Power Truck. Dodge entry there. Preston at 5:35 and Jack Weddle's out 5 laps. Cook 5:38 on the 35 to L, 3 over. Jack Weddle was 6 over, 5:06 on the 5 flat. So Brett was closer to his dial and takes the win. A nice clean white flat fender Jeep there. First time I've seen him out here at Avenal Sandbag. Up against the 623X Jeep. First time out for that Jeep, I know. Nice little center seat ride. And the wind light to the left side. The right lane with the breakout. He went 510 on the 15 dial. Took a lot of room down there at the stripe and breaks out. So the ADS ride. He went some rounds yesterday too, so he's been sliding through and getting some wind lights. Well, we've got Brandon Montgomery over here in the near lane in the Team Hardcore pickup. Again, I'm trying to figure out who's in the Burris Razor over there, the Washington crew. We got the Razor over here in Pro 3. I'm not sure if Chris is driving it or we'll find out. 6th lap for the Razor, 4:35 the dial for Brandon Montgomery. Oh, tough break for Brandon. It died when he brought it up. That didn't sound good. Tough break for Brandon Montgomery there. He went to deck it and it coughed. And the Burris Razor moves on. Like I said, I'm not sure if Chris Wells or Scotty Burris is driving it, but hey, and there's your buy run, Austin Thomas. Actually, that does appear to be Al McKinney in the car in this class. I did notice Al was running the car in one class this morning and Austin in the other, so it looks like Austin must be running Pro 2 and Al's in it in Pro 3. halfway between Fresno and Bakersfield. Not a ton of population around, but they do draw some pretty decent crowds for the location, and the community is great support of this event, so pretty good deal all around. We are in Avenal, California at Avenal Sand Drags for their 2016 Spring Nationals event. Check out some of the sponsors here of the Avenal Sand Drags. Ross & Sons Refrigeration and Construction. You're going to see Rick Ross come out here. I believe he'll be in the first pair in Pro 2 in the 59 Chevy truck. If you were with us last night on the live stream, Adam Ross made a pass in the truck after they crashed all day and put a new tranny in it, and it was quite a show. He had it on the bumper at least 3 times going down the track, went through the finish line with the wheels, I don't know, 3-4 foot in the air. It was really something. Foster, 410 on the 406 dial. It is great to see Steve back at the races. The first time he's been out in, gosh, it's probably been 3 or 4 years. He's got both of his Jeeps out here this weekend doing battle. So next up is going to be Steve Dickerman in the West Gilmore owned dragster rear lane up against Kevin Williams and Bill Meany's ride. Kevin broke his Jeep yesterday. Orange Jeep that he's been so successful with lately. So Bill Meany's letting him run his Jeep. So Steve Dickerson here in the near lane and Kevin Williams in the far lane. And Kevin Williams turning on the wind light, 392. On the 375 dial. Steve went 430 over here on the left side. So Kevin Williams and Bill Meany's Jeep going to round 2. Next up, Justin Adamson here and Frank Wagner. We saw Justin turn on the wind light a few minutes ago in Pro 3 action. We'll see what he can do in Pro 2. So Justin Adamson's going to advance on. He saw Frank was having problems, lifted early, went 446. So Justin Adamson gets another round win this morning. So he's still in it in Pro 3 and Pro 2, and we'll see him in a few minutes in Pro 1 first round. Next up will be Mike Williams Sr. in the White Lightning Jeep out of Hemet, California, up against Chris Helmuth. Helmuth Racing alcohol injected dragster. Avenal Sand Drags in Avenal, California. 2016 Spring Nationals. Mike Williams Sr. over here in the near lane, 385 dial, and Chris Helmuth with the 380 dial. Mike was your winner in Pro 2 at the Saboba SPSPA event last month. We'll see if he can keep up his winning ways. Yeah, Mike just didn't get it up on the brake quick enough and a little late on the tree, so Chris Helmuth advances on to the second round in Pro 2. So it looks like we've got 4 more cars, maybe 5. Yeah, 5 more cars left in the first round of Pro 2. I see some of the Pro 1 racers pulling out, getting ready to load the lane, so we're going to run Pro 2, Pro 1, and then into Top Alcohol and Top Eliminator first round here on Elimination Sunday at Avenal Sand Drags. Some California people in the house. Hey, I see Rick Morris is on here. Big shout out to the Morris family racing team. I'm sure they're checking out what's going on here. They had other commitments this weekend and weren't able to come out, but big supporters of NSDN and Sand Drags in general, and great folks. We'll see them down the road. But yeah, we've had people on here from Maine, New York, Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Oregon, all across the country tuning in to check out the NSDN live stream this weekend. Been pretty cool to see. Checking out 300-foot sand drag racing action. And you guys have gotten to see a lot of tractor races too. But these guys, you have to keep the track in safe condition, and these guys do a really good job here. They do it about as quickly as you possibly can, keeping the surface as good as it needs to be to put these cars down through there. So they're taking care of the starting line, make sure the starting line's smooth, and then the big tractors with the implements will come down through and get everything squared away. So we are in first round of Pro 2 eliminations. This is a Pro Tree bracket class. 375 to 425 is the time break. Dirt in there apparently. We got Top Alcohol and Top Eliminator will be up in a little bit. Craig Mark and Gary Mink are going to go at it in Top Alcohol. Top Eliminator, 8 cars. Not sure if any of them are out or not, but the way the ladder should shake down should be Paul Taylor and Tracy Milan. The 2-7 matchup would be Jim Rossi and Wes Gilmore. Then it would be Ron DeArtney and Larry Snow. And then the final pair would be Paul Graham and Mark Whitmore. Definitely some good matchups there. They're always as good racing in the Top Eliminator 295 Index category. on races like this. As you can see in the American flag right there, it's pretty much a direct tailwind down the track right now. Staging lanes currently. Kind of the hot box setup with 3 lanes for each side. Little 2 cars pull out from this pair. It's going to be Tony D'Annunzio in the far lane in the black team. Up against Richard Ross. Richard was your Friday Pro Gambler, Early Bird Gambler winner. Tony's dialed 410, Richard Ross at 4 flat. So Tony will leave a 10th of a second before Richard Ross. Tony D'Annunzio, 411 on the 10 dial. Richard Ross is 406 on the 4 flat. So Tony won over for the win. Tony's going to be tough today. His car's been consistent all weekend. And look at this matchup. Chris Adamson in the far lane and Charlie Johnson in the near lane. Certainly 2 of the hitters here at the West Coast races. Both of these guys advanced on in first round of Pro 3. They also double enter in Pro 2 here. So we'll see which can take the win. Both are dialed at 425. So a heads up battle. Takes the win. 428 to a 433 for Charlie Johnson. Didn't sound like Charlie got on the nitrous button quick enough and wasn't able to run the number. He went 422 this morning with the wheels way up in the air, hitting the button early, but he turned the bottle on. He was out past 60 foot when you could hear him hit the button. So Chris Adamson's moving on to round 2. Pro 2. Sure what's going on now. Brian Chapman's pulling out in the orange Jeep there. Okay, I see we have some folks from Virginia in here watching. Shout out to the folks from Virginia. Been to beautiful Newtown Dragway in Newtown, Virginia. Quite possibly the finest sand drag track in the world. So, big shout out to the fine folks in Virginia. San Diego folks tuning in. Jim Smith, no, Jim Smith is not here this weekend. they did not make the trip down. We always enjoy seeing Jim Smith, Ron Shield, and those guys make the trip down, but they aren't able to make this trip. So it looks like it's going to be Brandon Montgomery in the Team Hardcore truck coming out against April Suarez. We saw April lose a close one in the first round of Pro 3. And Brandon had a tough break and went out. So both of these races are double entered. They're also here in Pro 2. So one of them is going to advance on. And one of them will be done for the weekend. April was your winner last night in the Pro Gambler. She took the $1,000 first place money. So she definitely knows how to get the job done. April's in at 425 and Brandon at 426. Montgomery gets the win. April got a little sideways, had to pedal it, and Brandon Montgomery 433 was the winning number, and he will move on to round 2 in the Pro 2 category. So tough way to go out today for April Suarez, going out first round in both classes. She had a great weekend with her big win yesterday in the Pro Gambler. So next up is going to be Brian Chapman with the Byron. Told you guys yesterday to watch out for Brian Chapman in Sportsman 1. He went on to win it, so he's usually in it in the late rounds in Pro 2, and I would not be surprised to see him in when it comes down to finals time today. He's dialed in at 394. It's a very, very consistent Jeep, and Brian knows how to drive. And he wisely pedaled it a little bit. He headed towards the center. It was 419, so I'm sure he'll be ready for round 2. There's Kevin Williams there on the live feed, checking things out. We saw him win first round in Bill Meany's Jeep. Got your number 1 qualifier and top eliminator, Mr. Paul Taylor, checking out the starting line. See TE up here in just a little bit. Paul ran a perfect 2.95 with a 0 in qualifying and first session yesterday, so giving a shout out there, Mr. Paul Taylor. No, there are not any top fuel this weekend, but we do have top alcohol and top eliminator action today. 8 cars in top eliminator, and I believe we have 2 cars for top alcohol. Unfortunately, the Morton team, I understand, hurt their car and they're out for the weekend. So we had 3 strong teams. All 3 cars that were here were in the 240 zone, so they definitely came to play and came to do some business. So last session yesterday, Gary Mink ran 244 and Craig Mark went 247, which not far off. The national record for top alcohol is 236, so they're about a 10th off, but good numbers for here in Avenal in the heat. We'll see those 2 square off in the final in a little bit. Make sure you click the subscribe live button here on the live feed, and it'll notify you every time we go live. And be sure to like National Sandray News on Facebook so you get to see all the latest updates. So to recap, we are in Avenal, California at the 2016 Avenal Sand Drags Spring Nationals. Coverage this weekend is presented by the fine folks at Avenal Sandra, Red Warrior, DRC Motorsports, as well as Flirting with Disaster Racing, Mr. Kenny Hayes. You'll see him come out here in just a few moments here in Pro 1, and Hammer Down Racing, Dennis Wright. So we are up to Pro 1, the quickest pro bracket category, 374 and faster is the dial-in. The time break there, everybody dials quicker than 74. So your first pair out is going to be Jerry Watson, Lethal Injection Dragster. Right here in the Avenal area, up against Steve Foster in Impatient 2. Both cars are dialed in at 366. To a 371 for Jerry Watson. So Steve had the starting line advantage. Used the whole shot to take the win. Next up is going to be Curtis Helmuth with Maryland. Up against Travis Scouten in the last call Jeep. Travis dialed 374 and Curtis Helmuth at 372. Wheeling it down there, got the win light, 385. Breakout over here on the near side for Curtis, he went 368. Travis immediately went to the right, headed right over for the cones, and he did quite a job driving it. And he'll advance on to round 2 in the Pro 1 class. Next up is going to be Robert Watanabe Racing Dragster. Injected small block Chevy power, a little bit of nitro in the tank. He dialed in at 339 up against Ron Moran in the Wild American. Blowing big block Chevy Dragster, dialed in at 340. And the win lights, Robert Watanabe, 342 on the 339 dial. Ron Moran had some problems over here, 394. He's been struggling today with the car after running his quickest runs ever yesterday. So Robert Watanabe going rounds again today. Good job, John.
Hey, thanks for what you're doing.
Absolutely. John Watanabe there. They're moving on to the next round. Great folks there. They went a bunch of rounds yesterday in the Pro Gambler, and they're doing it again today in Pro 1. So it looks like we've got About 5 cars left here in round 1. It appears Kenny Hayes is going to get the bye run. And then it looks like it's going to be Chris Wells against Tony D'Annunzio and Bill Meany and Justin Adamson. Be my guess.
I don't even know if that car's going to maybe it's got it running right. No time pass.
Yeah.
Winging it.
They're winging it. The Wells crew. Scotty Burris here. Live on NSDN. Great to see these guys come down from Washington and go racing. Bring out the red Chevy V8 buggy there. You can see straight in front of me. These guys are hardcore racers. They make the long haul from Washington down here to California and go racing quite often. And they are here at Avenal Sandbags this weekend for the 2016 Avenal Sandbags Spring Nationals. Well, this weekend's NSDN daily race coverage and live stream is presented by Avenal Sandbags, Red Warrior, Yartney Motorsports, Flirting with Disaster Racing, Mr. Kenny Hayes, who we'll see go down the track in just a moment, as well as Hammer Down Racing, Mr. Dennis Reich. I know Dennis was crashing to get his new race Jeep ready to go to bring up here to do some bracket racing and unfortunately ran out of time. So we'll see that new car debut here fairly soon. So we got 1 set of cars left in Pro 1, 2 pairs in a bye, and then we'll be going to Top Alcohol. So after this set of cars goes, I'm going to go off the live feed for a little bit and get ready for the pro session, and then we'll be back live, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes or so, with some more eliminations action. Be sure to like National Sandwich News on Facebook, and you can check out the videos and recaps as the Top Alcohol and Top Eliminator cars run, and all the other updates throughout the weekend will be on there. And be sure to click the subscribe live button on your screen. There should be one somewhere near it if you're watching, and it'll notify you every time that we go live from an event. Mike, we're going to go off the live stream for probably, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour or so. I'm going to get some different angles here in the video for Top Alcohol and Eliminator and charge up the phone a little bit, so we'll be ready to do some more eliminations action as the day goes on here on the NSDN live stream. So first pair up, as we continue on with Pro 1 first round, it's going to be Justin Adamson in the near lane and Bill Meany in the far lane. Justin has already won first round in Pro 2 and Pro 3. Triple enter today. We'll see if he can continue on here in the Pro 1 class. Justin in at 374 and Bill at 371. Gets the win. 372 on the 371 dial. Justin Adams at 382 on the 74. So Bill was closer to the dial and gets the round win. Next up, it's Chris Wells in the Washington-based V8 buggy up against Tony D'Annunzio. Got the bottle turned on over there in the old black Jeep. 370 dial for Tony and 360 for Chris. With the win light. 367 on the 60 dial, 75 on a 70 for Tony D'Annunzio. So Tony was a little closer to the dial, but Chris got him on the starting line. The Wells team there, they have struggled with the car this weekend and they weren't sure what it was going to run right there, and somehow he gets the starting line full shot victory. So the last car up and the buy run goes to our good friend Mr. Kenny Hayes from Buckeye, Arizona, in this beautiful Larry Minor Motorsports built Jeep. Kenny's dialed in at 357. Getting after it. 353 at 93 miles an hour. So he'll definitely be looking at changing his dial for the next round. Okay, folks, we're going to go offline off of the live feed here for a little bit. So thank you guys for joining in. Make sure to like National Sand Drag News. Check out all the latest updates. We're going to have videos and results as the top alcohol and top eliminator round happens. And we'll be back live, like I said, I don't know, somewhere between a half hour and 45 minutes is what I'm figuring. And we'll do some more coverage of the Pro Bracket Eliminations. So from Avenal Sand Drags, we're signing off for a little bit. We'll be back later on with some more live streaming from the 2016 Avenal Sand Drags Spring Nationals.